Hi guys, Rob from Rob's Model Cars and welcome back to the channel. We're back again today with a new model review, and this is the brand new GT Spirit Khyzhl Saleem Huratach, I think it's called. So cross between a Huracan and a Countach. Now this is a fantasy model, a little bit of story behind Khyzhl Saleem. If you Google his name, I'll put his spelling of his name in the description of the video below. He plays around with Photoshop and comes up with some crazy ideas of some cars, and this Huratach was one of his concept cars. Now, if anyone follows the other YouTuber, B is for Build, Chris runs that channel where he builds real cars. He's actually friends with Khyzhl Saleem in the US, and he has said that Khyzhl Saleem is actually starting his own body kit company in the US. So we'll see what happens in that space, and if he starts making all of these crazy design body kits that he does in Photoshop. So anyway, today is reviewing this model. So I think this is GT Spirit's new packaging. It comes in this matte black box with a big gloss black GT Spirit logo, big 1/18 scale, and a big picture of the model on the end of the box. So if we open up the model, the box, it does come in a foam shell like all GT Spirit models. It does have a quality control card on the top. Hopefully it has been quality control checked. And if we lift the lid off, here is the model we're going to have a look at today. Now this is a wide body fantasy creation of a Lamborghini Countach, and it looks pretty menacing. So these are screwed into the box to avoid damage. So I'll get this unscrewed, we'll put it on the turntable, and we'll have a closer look at this quite fat, extreme Lamborghini Countach by GT Spirit. Okay, so here we have this fat ass Lamborghini Huratach, which has a few elements of the Huracan mixed in with the Lamborghini Countach. Now this is a fantasy model car. I don't usually collect fantasy model cars, but I really like the aggressiveness, and it's pretty mental for a Lamborghini Countach. So overall the model presents pretty well. It's got great stance. It's super wide compared to a normal Lamborghini Countach. Much wider in the back here, and it's got some monster tyres under the back. Obviously the wing is sitting up a lot higher than a standard Countach. It has some extra little side sill pieces on here, but it's mostly the nose that has been modified. So obviously the pop-up headlights are gone, and the Parker light assembly has gone, the clear lenses in the front, and you've just got these little strip LED headlights in the front. Very aggressive front splitter, and you've got some canards on the side as well. So that's basically, and obviously the wide arch fenders as well. So I think that's basically the difference between a standard Countach and this one. I think also these side intakes have been squashed down a little bit flatter also. And then you've got the back. So your standard Countach tail lights are gone, and you've just got a little tiny tail lamp up the top, which uses the same elements as the Huracan. So you've got the three little separate lenses with the LED line underneath that. So yeah, quite a bit different to your standard Countach. It's sitting on some monster big Toyo tyres and some deep dish wheels. I really quite like it. It's very unique. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, I quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. Now, the pictures on the internet of this photoshopped model, it looked black, but it's actually a very dark charcoal metallic, or a metallic black. Hopefully you can see the metallic in the paint there. But yeah, that's still pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. Now the paint finish is not bad, but it's not the best either. There's quite a few spots on this model where there are little bits of dust in the clear coat that I can see, so it's not perfect by any means. This model cost me 160 Australian dollars, and I bought this from Car Lover Diecast. in China. So that was the best price for me in Australia to get this model. Not sure what they're selling for around the world, but that's what I paid for this one anyway. So yeah, the paintwork, it's okay, it's not the best. The plastic that they use for the windows it's okay, it's better than the last GT Spirit Countach I got, but it's still a little bit hazy. It's not super clear plastic like they use on BBR or MR high-end models, so I guess you get what you pay for. But the other issue I have is that I have dusted this model, and there is actually some dust behind the front window and on the dashboard on the interior that I just can't get rid of because it's a sealed model. So that's a little bit disappointing that this model has been put together and there is a little bit of dust on the inside that just cannot be moved. Unless you get some air in there, you're not going to move it. So I've got some dust spots behind the window and there is some dust sitting on the top of the dashboard as well. So little bit disappointing there in that regards. It does have a nice little photo etched Lamborghini crest on the hood. But yeah, that is basically about it. The bottom has a little bit of inbuilt texture for it's an older car, gearbox and engine sump, and a little bit of detail on the exhaust system as well. I mean, it is a sealed resin model. It's not as heavy as some of their other ones, but it's still pretty heavy. GT Spirit models are big chunks of resin. They are quite heavy. But they've done a pretty good job on the wheels. So these deep dish 5-spoke wheels look pretty good. Obviously, you've got all the Toyo tyre lettering on the tyres. And the brake discs and rotors are acceptable as well for this model. So now the interior. The interior is pretty plain. It's just a plain black dashboard, just a plain center console with a gated shifter. The gated shifter's all black. There's no silver knob on it. It is very plain in detail. Just your conventional Lamborghini Countach style seats, all in red. And it does have cloth seat belts in it, so that's a bonus. It does have seat belts. They haven't forgotten those. But the rest of it's quite plain. I can't really see if it has carpeted interior. I don't think it does for this price point. But yeah, that is basically the GT Spirit Khyzhl Saleem Lamborghini Huratach. So yeah, overall, there are some flaws on this model. It's not perfect. Still, when you're paying 160 Australian dollars for a model, I expect it to be pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. But it does have some flaws, some dust in the paintwork and some dust under the windows in the interior as well. Would I recommend this model? If you love crazy exotic cars, then yes, add it to the collection. If you're not a fan of Khyzhl Saleem's work, little KS on the front window there too, then you probably don't like it and you're not going to buy it anyway. But overall, I think it's a pretty good model. It's a bit better than expected. The stance, as I say, it's got some big fat tyres on the back of it. It does look pretty cool. So yeah, for that sort of money, happy to add it into the collection, and it'll join my group of other Countaches. So that's basically it for today's review. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, why not subscribe? If you like the video, smash that like button. Feel free to share the video as well through social media, and don't forget to follow me also on Facebook and Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed today's video review of this GT Spirit Khyzhl Saleem Lamborghini Huratach, and stay tuned, plenty more reviews on the way, and more model building videos also. So until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.